Hey everyone, LeRon here, better known as Exodus803. Some audio difficulties came up in the original recording of the April 10th episode of the Boss Rush podcast. What you're about to hear is actually the show starting from the middle. Stick around though, please, because Ed, Jesse, Austin, Logan, and myself still have plenty to talk about for episode 90 of the Boss Rush podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
So Ed, how's that new pepper sauce that Dan said?
Oh, the Mamba sauce. Okay. So I like the mouth. The sweet hot. The sweet hot is really kicking. It has a really good taste. I tried it on some chicken. I you know what? It's sauce that you actually put on food. Other than sauce that you could dip in. You know. Yeah, because like I think when you have that liquid kind of sauce, you really can't dip it in. If you got your sauce really thick, that's the kind of dipping stuff. It is. Yeah, it kicked my tail. Like my I was just like, oh, I love this sauce. It's really really good. And we're gonna talk more about it on Power Block. But yeah, that Logan, you would do wonders with this sauce. You will do wonders. I do want to try it on Chinese barbecue ribs though. The little
I was wondering how good it would be on fish because I made my roommate and we've been trying to meal prep and do a little bit healthier stuff, and I made tilapia with potatoes today for lunch, and I think that would go really really well with tilapia because I do my tilapia a little bit spicier anyway. Like I try a little kick to it. I think that sauce would just hit it perfect.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, go ahead. Go, Lauren.
All right. So for this week, the only thing I've been playing is Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, the game's been out for 15 days now. It's a new Monster Hunter game. Everybody that knows me knows I am a Monster Hunter player. So yeah, like my Switch has been getting all sorts of love these days, and shoot. Give me a Monster Hunter game, I'll turn you on. Basically, let's put it like that.
The season of love.
Yeah, but yeah, if anybody's been listening to Hunters for Hire that me and Galatrad have been doing last Wednesday, which is the Monster Hunter podcast show that we started. Everyone will know by now that I have like a system to how I play new Monster Hunter games. Typically what I do is I jump in and I play the story mode first. The reason why I play the story mode first is that's a good way to net you like the materials and the gear and stuff to make your weapons and armor and stuff. Because once you start the online mode, the monsters actually are harder and stuff like that. And they hit harder and they have more HP and stuff like that. So you kind of want to buffer, and that's kind of the way I've been doing it for a while. Also, by tradition, I became a solo player. Like Monster Hunter is a series that encourages you to play multiplayer. You can have up to 4 people in squads. And but I played the original Monster Hunter game back in 2004 on PS2, and me and a bunch of friends played it. But Monster Hunter kind of fizzled out on the PlayStation 2 scene. And so when the PSP versions came out, nobody wanted to buy a handheld just to play one game. So I was so for the longest time I played solo by myself. So now I have this like interesting thing where it's like, hey, if I ask you to play Monster Hunter with me, be honored because I usually play this game by myself.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but
no wonder you never asked me.
Do you have it?
Well, Austin, there's just a little thing that he doesn't really like you that much. So.
Do you have it, Austin?
No, I didn't. We got to that point of the year where
you spent your allotment in video games.
All these games are out, and I'm like, which one do I devote to? Because I want to play Outriders, and I want to play.
Outriders!
Rise.
Outriders! You gotta wait till that game get fixed with the servers and everything. That game is still having problems everywhere. I was telling Jesse this yesterday night that that inventory bug system, the servers are still going on and off. Like they are still having problems.
And what's funny is I've been jumping in and into that game occasionally since its release, and I haven't ran into one single problem yet.
LeRon,
yeah.
Quick question about your solo Monster Hunter. Does the weapon stuff actually open up after every story mode?
Okay, there's a certain point in the story mode where you actually have to start playing. Okay, so the way weapons and gear work, you have access to the higher like weapon trees, and you have access to the higher weapons once you start
Yeah.
going through the low rank and the high rank of the guild hall missions. So honestly, like wherever you're at in the game right now, like it won't open up for you next until you get to the high rank quest, which is like 4-star and beyond for the guild hall.
So, but you have to do everything. Okay. Because I know the village stuff doesn't count in a sense.
No, it doesn't. Well, the village stuff counts just for the fact that the village stuff is like the story mode. But I noticed something interesting this time with this Monster Hunter game. It looks like the village quest. You normally in Monster Hunter, like Monster Hunter has always had it has been known for its story mode. When I say that, I mean like a lot of the previous games, you got lore from just talking to random characters, and that was kind of the story for that game. Well,
Yeah.
starting with Monster Hunter, I want to say starting with Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter Try for the Wii. That's when they tried to like centralize the story for the games.
Okay.
But I feel like it didn't get completely figured out or realized until Monster Hunter 4, and it definitely for sure Monster Hunter World basically, like game had like a concrete story. But I noticed what's interesting about Monster Hunter Rise is you get half of the story by playing the offline mode. So basically, like going to the quest board out in the town, you get half of the story there, and then when you get to your 4-star urgent, which is an actual rampage, then the story takes over from there, and you get the rest of the story by playing through the online high rank mode. So this is interesting. Like I mean, like most Monster Hunter games, like the online mode is just there for the challenge, and like the offline the village quests are traditionally where the story is at. But now it's pretty interesting. I'm liking it because I mean most people just jump in directly into the guild hall stuff, which is the online mode, and like I said, I always do it backwards. Well, I don't do it backwards. There's no such thing as a backwards way to do it. But I always do it the opposite way, where it's like I do the village stuff first.
That's what I've been doing, like doing the village.
Yeah,
stuff.
there's nothing wrong with the village stuff, because in all seriousness, the village stuff gets you acquainted with the monsters' behaviors and all that stuff. And so you want to learn that stuff, because when you go into online mode, when you start doing the guild hall quests, the monsters are going to smack you around, and if you're not familiar with their attacks, like you're going to get one-shotted. You're gonna get one shot until you start getting like high rank armor.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Monster Hunter is the only thing I've been playing. I have also like wasted time because I'm in the middle of recovering from my second COVID vaccine. So the time I've spent in bed, I've been playing the mobile game Teppen, which I talk about all the time. Yeah, it's fun. I can send out invites to people if they want to try it out and stuff like that.
Cool. Send me an invite.
You want an invite? Nelly wants an invite too.
Send me an invite. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll do that. But Teppen real quickly for people who don't know. That's Capcom and Gung Ho teamed up and made like a card-based game. So think like Hearthstone, Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like that. And it's actually very fun. Like it's centered around all the stuff in the Capcom universe. I mean, Ada Wong just became like a natural playable hero in this game, and every hero has like 3 different hero art. So basically, are like major attacks that you do against the other opponents and stuff. Like it's usually major attacks against the other opponents, like cards and the defenders and stuff like that. But yeah, like I mean, they have characters from across a lot of the Capcom continuity or universe and whatnot. You've got Ryu, you've got Morrigan, you've got, like I said, you got Ada Wong, you've got Wesker, you've got Nergigante from Monster Hunter World, Rathalos from Monster Hunter, you've got Jill Valentine, you've got a lot. Amaterasu from Okami is a hero.
Yes.
In my head, I always pronounce it correctly, but when I try to speak it, it always comes out jumbled. Amaterasu, there we go. is a hero.
Yeah, she is my spirit animal. I love Amaterasu.
Oh man, when she was so broken when she came out. They've started to finally like tool her down and fix her, but man, she was so broken. And like that campaign, that campaign, because usually when they release a new hero character, usually the campaign is 2 months long, 2 cycles before a new hero comes out. But man, I tell you, man, like playing with Amy, playing against Amy was a freaking challenge, because like people, I'm not good at building decks and stuff like that in these games. Like, like I never played I never really played Yu-Gi-Oh seriously, and like UFS, which is Capcom's like legit fighting game, legit card fighting game. I never played that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not good at building decks and stuff like that. So, 9 times out of 10, I'll usually like build my own deck. And then as I'm playing other people, I'll kind of gleam what cards they have from their deck and I'll start tooling my decks too. And I was like, oh, I just got smacked down with this bullshit. So let me put this in my deck.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend Matt, if you want some help with building your deck, you get with my friend Matt, because he'll be like, he'll look at because we used to play like Hearthstone and like the Elder Scroll card game and stuff like that, and he'll look at it and he'll be like, no, and then he'll like build me a deck, and then I'll start playing with it like, I can't lose with this deck.
See,
like,
I need someone because okay, so here's the cool thing about Teppen, right? Okay, so Teppen, okay, when you first start the game, you start on what's called the F tier, and you have to work yourself up from the F tier to the, I don't think there's an E tier. So you start from the F tier, you go straight to the D tier, then C tier, B tier, A tier, and then once you get through the A tier, you're in the champion. Now, here's the thing about it. Okay, once you make it a champion, all you have to do is net points, and as long as you make champion, when the next campaign cycle rolls through, they put you back into the A tier instead of all the way back down to the F tier. So the incentive is to actually play and make it a champion. It doesn't matter. Champion starts at 1,600 points. After that, like, it doesn't matter. You can lose all those points. I've seen some people have like 1,100 points, and that's low. That's low. Right. But it doesn't matter. Once you make champion, you're guaranteed to be put back in the A tier when the next campaign starts over. So that's the real thing. Of course they've got payouts and rewards for like top 100, top 500, top 100, top 50, and of course like the top 3. They've got big payouts and rewards and stuff like that. But as long as you actually make champion, like, you're guaranteed to not have to fight so hard to get back to champion in the next campaign. Did my roommates turn the heat on? Jesus, that's not a cool thing to do right now. I'm
the
sorry.
Sleeves are off.
Oh yeah.
No, but I'm running a fever from this COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he's running a fever, everyone, every time he comes in with his shirt, with just the sleeves off. I mean,
I tell you what, cool. if it gets any hotter, I'm losing this tank top. Jeez, let's put it that way. Like, I'm sitting under
OnlyFans live on twitch.tv/starts right now.
I'm sitting under a fan, and I got my window open right here. When I tell you it's hot, it's hot.
Just make sure you cover your nipples. We don't want to get Twitter banned.
Do not,
or Twitch banned.
Don't cover the.
It's my channel, by the way. You're hearing us live and direct from twitch.tv/exodus803. So the boss the Corey pasties.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I still have these.
All right, guys, you ready to break into these topics?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so the first one, which I feel like is an actual major one here, so we want to talk about this first. Deathloop has been delayed until fall of 2021. Via Deathloop's Twitter from Arcane Studios, they said, "We've made the decision to delay the launch of Deathloop to September 14th of 2021. We're committed to quality and preserving our team's ambitions for Deathloop while ensuring the health and safety of everyone at Arcane. We'll be using this extra time to accomplish our goal, create a fun, stylish, and mind-bending player experience. We apologize for the extended wait and thank you all for your passion and excitement. It is the fuel that powers our creativity and our hard work. We can't wait to show you more of Deathloop soon." And that was from the game director, Dinga Bakaba, and the art director, Sebastian Mitten, and of course the Arcane Lion team. Yeah. So, guys, Ed, you were about to say something. Go.
Oh, I think this is fine with the delay. I actually put out, I think there's gonna be a demo for this game like at E3. So I think this demo will carry over to when the game is ready. I think there's people still trying to figure out if they're gonna buy it or not, because I think they're still trying to figure out what the game is all about. But there's in Arcane and like a lot of these companies, they've been delaying a lot of their games, because this happened with Doom Eternal. that it got delayed over and over to make this project better. So, I think people are fine with this game being delayed. And definitely for the fall, where we don't know what the release dates are for a lot of games for the fall, this is a good fit for them. I think,
Mhm.
they really want to bring out a product. And this definitely with an IP, a new IP like this, you want to make sure that it comes out just right. So I'm cool with them delaying it. That just gives me time to play other games. And once it drops, I'll be probably picking it up on PS4 and giving it a try and stuff. And
Yep, I agree.
maybe PS5 and Xbox One Series Ones will be in stores for more people to buy. So that's a really good thing for people to be like, oh, we could now go into the store, and that gives this game more sales when it drops. So I'm cool
Yeah.
with it.
No, that's one of them that's exclusive to PlayStation for a limited time, right?
As far as we know, yeah,
As far as-
Yeah.
I think it's got like a 1 year exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, that it's expected to hit. I think they've already said it's going to be Game Pass and it's going to be Game Pass PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess that means Austin, we got to figure out, are we getting this as quickly as possible for Crossroads or what?
You talking about Deathloop?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hopefully get it. It just depends on how the schedule works out. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I made a commitment, one game at a time, one
Yeah,
game at a time.
Austin's doing a 1-to-1 ratio of games right now. Like,
I feel like this
I
game,
need to do that.
I feel like this game is a good fall, like in October kind of game. I think it's a good way to get something big in October, because we still, like I said, we don't know the release for a lot of stuff past August, and I think October would fit this game just perfectly.
It would be good.
Yeah, and I've been saying since like the end of last year, like into the beginning of this year, like I think both Xbox and Sony are trying to keep a iron face or whatever, like they don't want to show any weakness, but I honestly think that more games, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's just going to slowly be announced as having to be delayed or running behind, like, because I think COVID has affected a lot of these games way more than what we realize. I mean, we already know that Gran Turismo got delayed, and like all these games after a little time, we're getting these delays like left and right. So
Mhm.
and it is what it is. Like like I didn't talk about it in our like what we've been playing, but like that Narita Boy game is really fun, and like there's like all these littler indie games that have been coming out that have been a blast. So like I've been fine with games.
Which why when Nintendo did their direct in February, they really planned out what was coming up to the summer. So regardless if you like the direct or not, they, at least for gaming wise, they got a lot of content for a lot of people while they wait for the stuff for the fall. Because like for PlayStation, after Ratchet and Clank, I think it's what Kenna and now Deathloop. Like that's the only thing that we know of until Final Fantasy VII remake, PlayStation 5 drop. Like Nintendo in a sense is good for the summer just for gamers. And then man, Microsoft, and I think Microsoft and Sony's gonna pick up, and definitely with Deathloop coming out.
Microsoft's got a lot of stuff. Like
You-
Yeah.
you-
Oh, go ahead, Logan.
You have Ratchet and Horizon this summer.
Oh, Horizon.
Well,
Wait, Horizon hasn't been
on,
100%
hold
confirmed
on.
yet.
I
Horizon.
don't know. If
I feel like,
Horizon's
and I feel like the reason why
we
I feel
Oh,
like the reason why Horizon has been 100% confirmed is because remember, like that's the last
don't think
that's
it's
the last
out.
game we get for free with this current PlayStation promotion that's going on
True.
right now.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I was
So I
gonna
feel like
say
go ahead,
that-
Austin.
I'm gonna say the Deathloop getting pushed to the fall actually works for Sony's benefit, because we have Returnal at the end of April, and then we have Ratchet and Clank at the beginning of June. So that May section was gonna get a little crowded, especially with Resident Evil 8 being a big push for Sony.
But
Mhm.
Resident Evil 8 and Mass Effect Legends, like those
Yeah.
are two big games in May, just for Sony, and well, a lot definitely for Sony, I should say.
Yeah, they're both for Sony and Microsoft, but Sony's really been doing the Resident Evil 8 push big time. It's been everywhere for them.
Yeah,
so
Sony's been hosting all the Resident Evil events for the last like 3 months.
Yeah.
So well, I mean now it's only with them coming out and saying now that they will have another VR headset, I can only imagine that the reason they're pushing it is there's going to be a VR version of that one, I'm guessing too, for PS5.
Yeah, they'll probably just patch it in. But what were you gonna say, Logan? I'm sorry. I mean, Logan. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's all I had. That's all I had.
I was gonna say Deathloop working in the fall is gonna make up for we're not getting Horizon this year.
Yeah, we're not getting Horizon. We're not getting Horizon this year, and I really doubt we're getting Gran Turismo this year. I really doubt.
I think. Can I say Gran Turismo really didn't have a date plan that I know of? I think it was just that little.
It did not, but initially, right after the launch of the PS5, like they had an ad campaign, and they were saying that Horizon and GTA, I'm sorry, not GTA, Gran Turismo were all set to come out the end of summer. So like we're looking at July or August.
Because showing that
was to get sales of consoles to happen. I feel like
you know what
I don't think they actually planned on those games.
If they were going to make it for the summer, I think August Gran Turismo will drop.
Well, I mean, Austin, you and I have said this before. Like, we never see a Gran Turismo game come out when they intend to release it. We never do.
Yeah, never.
Like,
and they cannot afford to mess this one up. They can't. They've lost too much.
Actually, there's a couple of reasons why I think there's a couple of reasons why Gran Turismo got kind of hit. Well, I'm pretty sure it's in development hell right now, but I think the other reason why is because Gran Turismo is what helped Sony get a better foothold into the esports business, and now with the whole thing with Evolution and stuff like that, Sony is starting to come full circle and with the realization of that. We even talked about it in Crossroads the other night when we were talking about Katsuhiro Harada and Ken Kutaragi talking in a podcast show about how like esports was trying to be a thing that Sony tried to do back in the PS3 days, but the internet was not up to snuff in a lot of territories, so they had to scrap that.
Well, question: Do you think Evo? And sorry for the side tangent with this question. Did you think Evo now spreads out to different things where Evo is still fighting, but then you have Evo Racing, where you have a section of racing games? Do you have Evo FPS for the shooters? Do you have strategy? Like, does Evo actually evolve to different genres now because it's under Sony, and Sony has a lot of genres under their belt?
Okay, well, here's what I think, and that's a good question. What I think about Evolution is going to be strictly a fighting game thing, and maybe like the wonky ass party games like Smash, for example. But what I do believe they're going to do is they're going to take a lot of stuff they learned from Evolution. They're going to take a lot of stuff they learned from the other different esports events that Sony has been a part of, and they'll fully realize this. So yeah, there will be like a sports, like an actual freaking racing side of it. There will be more and more of that. Esports is such a big grand thing. Like Rocket League is part of esports. Like games like Hearthstone and is part of esports. Freaking all the Dota style games like League of Legends and stuff like that is esports and all that stuff. We can't forget the RTS games like StarCraft and things like that. That's all esports and stuff like that. So
okay,
it's going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds. Any final thoughts on this topic before we move on?
No,
the Deathloop part.
Yeah, I'm happy to see more of this game, and they're working hard to make this game great for the fall. More power to them. And like I said, it's a new IP. So, and I trust Arcane with their quality. They're good at making games, so I trust them with this game.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to our next topic. This, you know what?
Would you like to hear a breaking news story?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. What is it?
Well, actually, this might not be breaking at all. This might be just something I missed. But Soulja Boy is trying his new video game console again.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Didn't he learn anything? Didn't he learn anything from the last time?
No.
No.
Nope.
Well, he probably did learn something, that there is still a lot of dumb people out there who are gonna buy his crap.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a news story like a few weeks ago? Or
I mean,
I think it was, yeah.
April 9th is when he put it out. It's a Pocket 4G.
oh, okay.
It's like a little pocket game.
I mean,
Yeah.
people voted for Kanye, so.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Look, I wasn't thrilled with either option, but I figured Kanye would at least be interesting.
Exactly.
All right, so our next topic. It took a while for me to get this situated. So, but here it is. Reports are that Sony has closed a dev studio to prioritize more on AAA titles. Okay, so taken from a Bloomberg article from the good old Jason Schreier, the article reads that Sony's obsession with blockbusters is stirring unrest within the PlayStation empire. Okay, so I basically read this topic, and I've also put the link to the article in the chat for you guys, in the Twitch chat for you guys, if you want to take a look at that. But basically, long story short about this article, it was a concentration on the fact that that a small team which had big ambitions for a Last of Us remake, Sony wound up handing it off to Naughty Dog, and because of the shifting around of resources and stuff like that, a lot of the key development staff wound up so much losing faith and like leaving Sony. But when you read this article, the problem is the article makes it seem like Sony shut this studio down when that's not really the case. Now I'm not gonna go into all the semantics of how the reporting was done on this, because I feel like it was done sloppily, and also the article itself seems to be clickbaity. Because, like I said, you read the whole article, and my God, like I don't even know how big the word count is, but it looks like this is at least like 1,000 words, at least. But basically, let's concentrate on a couple things here. Okay, is Sony obsessed with blockbusters? Are they obsessed with it, guys? What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
To an extent, I would agree, but I think they also have a really good love for indie games and smaller games, like Concrete Genie. I think is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Sony has done an amazing job to promote that game, to make sure it gets into as many hands as possible. Before that, you look at games like Abzu. Abzu did a wonderful job, and again, it had Sony's backing. Like there's blockbuster titles like God of War and that style that are going to do great numbers just because of the people behind it. But I think Sony's done a really good job of bringing more games. I mean, the fact that Kenna is being talked about as much as it has before its release,
I know.
I don't think Sony has an issue with blockbusters. That's where their money's going to be made. Of course, from a business standpoint, you would have to put your money behind that. But I think Sony also does appreciate the just games in general, and that's why we get awesome games like Kenna and Concrete Genie.
Yeah.
It's half and half with me. I think they like blockbusters, but only from certain developers of theirs. They don't care about anything else coming out from it. If it becomes a blockbuster, that's when they'll find interest. If it doesn't, they won't care at all about it. Even when they put it on now, putting some of their stuff on PC. Like, look how Death Stranding is doing. Like, it's on PC. You think Sony would be like, oh, they liked it on PC? Let's try to get more people to play it on our system too. You think Sony would market stuff on it? No, Sony is, I feel like, interested in what Naughty Dog is doing, particularly just them, because they're the ones they're the blockbusters. They're the company that's been making the blockbusters for them. Yeah, God of War is great, but God of War is not touching anything The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 was doing. You know, it's not touching anything that Naughty Dog could. And nowadays, like, literally bring out. If they brought The Last of Us Part 3, it'll probably win awards again. They'll probably still sell systems. I put in my tweet that The Last of Us for Sony, in the fact, is their Mario Brothers. It is literally their Mario Brothers right now. And nothing else is touching it for Sony. So I feel like their blockbuster is now just in Naughty Dog and their titles, and then everything else just falls behind.
I mean, let's look at it this way. Naughty Dog's been a fixture with Sony since PS1.
Mm-hmm.
Way back in the days, Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. You know, like there was, and like Naughty Dog got bigger PS2 with Jak and Daxter, and then of course PS3 came out, and the thing that sold systems was Uncharted. You know, yeah. So I mean, Naughty Dog has brought them a lot of money. So, I feel like number one, that's a really safe bet for them. It's really safe, like you've got a company with a pedigree and stuff like that. Definitely trust what they do until they throw out a stinker. By the way, once they throw out a stinker, then like, okay, we need to reevaluate our relationship with you guys and stuff like that.
And it's surprising
But they
that
shouldn't have to, though. That's the thing. If they bring out something different, like that's the thing is, I think, as long as Sony does continue to try to bring out smaller games and push them, like these smaller, because like, that's what Microsoft has gotten much better at is not focusing on what's going to make them all this money, right? Like they don't need, like Game Pass has kind of given them that option that they don't have to worry about things so much, and they can actually let developers make whatever they want, regardless of how big it's going to end up being or how many, like it's going to sell. They don't care. They want the developers to be able to just make whatever they want. And Sony has done a good job of making like these smaller games and stuff that they don't expect to sell like massive, but as long as they can continue that and they don't try to focus too much on making only bigger games, like I don't see people really having a problem with it. But
hang on a second.
People are worried about that happening, where they're gonna lose that focus of what made people love being on PlayStation in the first place, is that they had some of those games that they took a chance on and stuff like that. I think people are worried that kind of part of PlayStation is going away.
Oh, go ahead, LeRon.
Well, actually, no. Jesse just said what I was getting ready to say, but the only other thing I'll say is like, Microsoft is in a very unique situation right now because they have Game Pass. Game Pass is going to generate residual funds. So honestly, right now, like Microsoft can do whatever the hell they want. I mean, technically, Microsoft can be like, "Hey, all you guys at Bethesda, make something." They don't. They because they have the residuals, and then if games come out, like I said, if stinkers come out, then they'll be like, okay, hey, we need to have a conversation, stuff like that. Sony is not in that situation right now. Sony might be in that situation, in a couple of years right now. Like, they need to find a way to make themselves residual income besides PlayStation Plus, and ultimately, I do feel like, and Jesse, you said it, you hit the nail right in the head. Like, there's some fear that like Sony's gonna like won't see the forest because of the trees and stuff, as far as like the blockbuster titles and stuff like that. But I think Sony has a good track record. I mean, they wouldn't have started what they called the PlayStation India Initiative if they weren't plugged into like other studios doing their own thing and stuff like that. Every company, whether it's Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, every company has like their AAA titles that they are always going to develop for and put their resources and time in because they know it sells and stuff like that. So now the one thing I will say about this article that I feel like is kind of fishy, a Last of Us remake, Last of Us 1, like that doesn't make any doesn't make any sense. I feel like there's something else at play here, because when we see it as it is, Last of Us remake, we're thinking the Last of Us 1 is getting a remake. But why would Sony waste the time or put resources into it when they could just make Last of Us 3 or the next Uncharted game or whatnot?
Or Last of Us 0. Like, is it going to be Last of Us 0? Is it going to be like before?
This is the weird thing, because a lot of people just like the game's only been out for 8 years and it already got remastered. And I think it's a visual arts supportive group. I think is the name. They were just pitching it to them to get an idea, because they come in and they clean up a lot of visuals, and so they were really just trying to do something for like
they were trying to get the attention so they could wind up making their own game, and I guess it kind of backfired on them, which is unfortunate. Right. And that's the other thing too about it. Okay, so also in this article we learned that Sony Bend was trying to get a sequel to Days Gone. And it looks like Sony's not going to move forward with it, even though the game was reportedly profitable. Well, I mean, it took a while for the game to get profitable, though. I mean, you know, and I'm not saying this in a bad way or a negative way for Days Gone the game, because I'm just now getting an opportunity to play it thanks to PlayStation Plus. I missed out on it when it launched, and I was also in a weird phase of gaming where I was just playing nothing but PC games when Days Gone came out. So, you know, maybe I'm one of those people that are to blame for why Days Gone couldn't have got its momentum back when it was a new fresh title. But Austin, Logan, what do you guys have to say about like the whole Days Gone thing?
Well, like you, well, you started playing it, but I haven't played it at all yet. That's a game that I wanted to see on PS5, and and in spite of all this news, I was hoping to hear a PS5 update for Days Gone. You know, it came out so close to the end, or you know, that's what I was more wanting to hear from.
It's probably gonna happen because Sony is putting a focus on the hardware of the PlayStation, so it's probably gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably gonna see upgrades because didn't they just did they just slide an update of some game that we didn't think was going to get an update at all? I can't remember what it was, but I remember we were talking about it, and then like this game out the blue got a PlayStation 5 update.
Yeah, and Days Gone is on PC now, so
it is. What it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it got.
I think it's planned. Or did they release? Yeah.
I think it already is.
Oh,
I think it is on PC.
Logan, what are your thoughts?
Oh, it is on Windows. It is on Microsoft Windows. How did I miss this?
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't. I mean, I didn't mind Days Gone. I thought it was a good game. I played it at launch, and it was buggier. It was about as buggy as Anthem was. I'm a little disappointed to see a sequel not coming, but at the end of the day, it's not a huge deal to me.
Well,
but I think that's the thing though, is it needs I think. You know, like that. Yeah, that kind of throws up a red flag of them. You know, like not willing to, because like look at. There's so many games where the first one just was not great, but then the second one was just really blew it out of the park. You know, like there's a learning moment in that first game always, and I think a lot of people are willing to, you know, people who you know are prevalent gamers, like are willing to accept that, you know, that first one is kind of a learning experience. Sometimes you can hit it on the head right away, but most times you don't. And like, yeah, like I mean I've never played Days Gone, but like honestly it is kind of surprising to me that they didn't move forward with the second.
This is the thing that kind of happened to it, because this happened to Crackdown 3, that the game had so many delays that the anticipation dwindled. So when the game came out and it didn't really wow a lot of players, just like Crackdown 3, the sale numbers didn't meet the hype anymore, because you know, I think if Days Gone would have came out the way that it was supposed to, it may have had higher sales. How the quality would have been, that would have been the questionable part. So I think that's what kind of hindered it. And not getting a Days Gone 2, I agree with you, Logan, that I don't think, because I think the first one, they kind of wrapped up everything. So I'm like, why would you need like a Days Gone 2 for?
It's a good standalone game. And I always thought that was what they were going to do anyway. I didn't see a reason for a sequel. So I gotta get out of here, guys. Have a good night. Have a good.
All right, Logan, take it easy. Hey, real quick, plug yourself, man.
Hey, go to LAN Party on BRG, Logan Corkins, all that good stuff. Yep. Peace out.
Bye.
Take care, man.
For the Last of Us, this Last of Us remastered or Last of Us remake, I kind of would have waited for a whole nother system. I kind of would have waited for like PlayStation 6 to do something like that. Like, give this game time to it's historic and it's iconic, and you know, people love it, but I'm like, this game needs time before a remaster needs to be done to it. Like, I mean, a remake needs to be done to it. It's too early. The game looks good. The remaster makes it look a little bit better. Like,
wait, is okay, you know what, that brings up a good question. Is 8 years too early for a remake? Is it?
Yeah
I feel okay, because here's the problem though. Like, a lot of people are not going to be able to play this real soon. PS4s are going to be gone. Like, you won't be able to buy one unless you go to like a used place like GameStop or whatnot. So you know. And wait, this Last of Us is a PS3 game. If we're talking to Last of Us is a PS3 game, and guess what? You can't buy a PS3 anywhere. So is a okay in the fact that Sony has like this weird backwards compatibility thing. I feel like right now Sony's having this weird dance about backwards compatibility. I feel like they are, and so the fact is that they're not opening up their library yet for able to play old games on the new systems and stuff like that. Is a remake or a remaster, so far fetched. Okay, I could get it if like this game just came out 4 years ago. Yeah, don't remaster the game, but this came out 2 console generations ago.
Well, I think everybody's been arguing because of the remaster being out on PlayStation 4, and I don't know if it's on PS9 for PlayStation 5.
It's not on PS Now because it's a free game for PlayStation Plus collection. If you have a PS5 and if you have a PS5 and the PlayStation Plus collection, you have access to this game.
So
that's
think it's
why
because
the PS5 remasters asinine to me. It doesn't make sense.
I think because of that remastered version, if they didn't make that remastered version for PlayStation 4, I could see something like this happening sometime in the future. And about, I would say, give it 11 years. I would say.
Okay, to play devil's advocate on the remastered one that came out for PS4, it was a HD remaster. It wasn't even like a complete like rework of the game. And the reason why I did an HD remaster of the game was because Last of Us came out at such a late time in PS3's cycle.
Yeah.
Last of Us comes out, then the PS4 is out.
But I think
the thing is,
PS4 was not fix it. And PS4 was okay. I agree with that. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
And I think because of the remastered version coming out, and that's what everybody was arguing about. They was like, we don't need a remake because you got this remastered version out that we could play on our current consoles and on PlayStation. So what does it look like you having this remastered version on PS Plus on PlayStation 5, and then you come out with this new game where people want to know how this game is the series is going to conclude. They would rather play 3 than play a remake of a game that's already out that you could play and experience and stuff. Now I will say unless
hold on. If Nintendo can get away with it, I think Sony has a little bit of wiggle room.
But this is the thing with Nintendo. When they do it, they put it on. It does come out on a different system, and it's a remaster. GameCube for the Legend of Zelda didn't come out. That HD version didn't come out to Wii U, so it missed all of Wii. Super Mario the 3D collection that had been on those old systems, that stuff didn't come out until now. So Nintendo, at least they wait for it to make this collection and add whatever they want to add, and you take it as you want to take it. They wait for a while. They don't put like, oh, we're going to put out this game and then remake it from the ground up to put it on. Like,
I feel like the company that we don't even know what the company's name was. They want to get an inroads into making their own games. So they're like, hey, we're gonna do you guys a favor. We're gonna start a remake of The Last of Us for you guys. And it was basically supposed to be like a layup for them and stuff like that. Like I said, it kind of backfired on them and stuff like that. But that was the risk that company took. And I'm not saying this in a bad or negative way, saying it's their fault at all or anything like that.
Oh no.
But they turned around, they put the assets out there, and then Sony is like, hey, we have assets that we need to either finish or just throw into the pile. So that's kind of where this came from. So I'm tired of playing devil's advocate here.
I think that's how Sony saw them, that you guys are a support group. You are not a development like Ben Studios. You are not Naughty Dog or anything. You guys are supposed to come in, help these other studios get their graphics and other stuff cleaned up, and then be on your merry way. You are a support. I'm just saying that's probably what Sony has seen in them, and they probably felt like, hey, we have the experience to make another game because we've been working with all of these other developers and creators within the worldwide studios. So we want to make our own game, but to start it off to showcase what we can do, we want to start with a a guaranteed game that we know that would sell well if you will allow us to do it. And Sony probably just said, no, we see you guys as a supporter studio. Now go help them make The Last of Us Part 2. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
And so all I can say is this, is that and I mentioned this earlier, that Sony is a business, and just like Nintendo and Microsoft, they are a business, and they're going to focus on their business and focus on stuff that's going to make them a profit. You know, yes, Microsoft has Game Pass, and they have enough money to give to their developers to make something, make all that they want. And I love that for Microsoft. They kind of and right now they kind of need that. Gaming needs that. That there's just a whole wide range of new IPs and new ideas. Sony and Nintendo, they know in with their market that they got surefire hits and stuff. So, like you guys said earlier, they could go to those particular games and release them or release that franchise and get something out. It's just sad to see that um, the visual arts supporter group, I really wish that they did get a chance to make their own game and not
Oh
use The
yeah.
Last of Us. I really wish that
Yeah.
Ben Studio kind of, I really wish Sony would have supported Ben Studio in Days Gone, even though they supported them, allowing them with the delays. I think the marketing for
Wait a
that
sec.
game.
Wait a second. Wait a second. We're forgetting something though. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I was confused. I thought Returnal was by Ben Studio. It's Housemark. My bad.
No, it's not. Yeah. And I think I think Sony right now, I said this earlier. I think I told you, LeRon, that I feel like they're supporting more of the West than the East. Because definitely with some, I think what Japan Studios
Okay,
closed.
Yeah.
that's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. Oh,
So,
but hold on a second. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because guess what? Sony does better in Western sales overall than it does in his home territory, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. You know, like Sony is a Japanese organization, it's a company and all that stuff, and Nintendo has such a foothold in it that basically like it's a like all other video game enterprises like Microsoft and Sony are freaking hand puppets for Nintendo to play around with, you know. Now of course Nintendo has like a genius marketing plan, you know, because I mean, we with how busy Japan's workforce and economy is, like yeah, everybody plays their games on the go, and Nintendo revolutionized it on the go gaming. So you know, we can't blame Microsoft and Nintendo for not having a better I'm sorry, Microsoft and Sony for not having a better foothold in Japan. But it does suck that Nintendo has 81% of the market share in gaming over in Japan, with Sony having like another like they're in the low teens, and then Microsoft is begging for the scraps and stuff like that. So you know, the fact that other territories like Eurasia, Europe, freaking North and South Americas are making Sony all the money. You know, hey, I mean, you know, I understand why Sony does have like a pivot to more Western franchises and titles. I understand it.
And I'm not knocking Microsoft business plan because they got a Game Pass around the world. Like being able to have that service and stuff to, like you guys said, to make that consistent revenue, that allows them to make the games that they want, and we are able to try them or buy them. You know, that's why I said Microsoft. We need that from them with these IPs. Sony, I kind of just wish that I really wish that Days Gone would have been better when it released because it's that first impression of the new IP. I think that let a lot of people down.
I don't think we've heard the last of Sony Bend. I really doubt it. I really doubt it.
Yeah, I know they're working on another new IP, which is good, and I think the lessons that they learned from them. This is the Guerrilla Games situation where I feel like we're being studio, and then I'll let you guys talk because this is gonna be my end part. I feel like it's the Guerrilla Games where Killzone didn't really knock it out the park, but it was someone know, and look how Horizon has done. Horizon Zero Dawn. How it's so not only 10 million games, but it was nominated for Game of the Year. It won some Game of the Years over Breath of the Wild, and or even tied up and stuff. And it became something promising that Sony took notice of Guerrilla Games. And look at Death Stranding is using Guerrilla Games engine. You know, that is literally surprising. So Ben Studio has this chance with this new IP that whatever they're working on, it could be that Horizon Zero Dawn, and that's their new blockbusters. That Sony would be like, oh, we see that you guys are doing sales, and this is a number. You're gonna see how Sony is gonna start supporting them hardcore.
Yep. Jesse, Austin, you got anything? You got anything else you want to add to this?
I would just say that I'm glad that Sony Ben's doing a new IP, just because I think we all say all the time, why do we need sequels for every game? Give us new IP. So if Days Gone 2 comes back later, that's cool. I'm excited to see what they do new. They made Uncharted Golden Abyss. Now they made Days Gone, and now they're gonna do something totally different. I'm okay with that. That's honestly like the least disappointing news to me of this whole thing that came out. The remaster really is the most disappointing part to me. The fact that I'm gonna be one day on the PlayStation 5 store seeing Last of Us remastered, and right next to it, Last of Us remake, whatever you want to call it, a PS5 version, whatever you want to call it. That to me is just like, and the fact that we haven't even heard anything about Last of Us 2, the PS5 update, or Factions, the multiplayer version of Last of Us 2, is like, I'm tired of hearing about Last of Us 1. I really am. I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing about it.
Me too. Me too. I mean, for real, I loved and enjoyed.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great game that they're just like beating you over the head with it. It's like, all right, we get it. It's a great game. Leave me alone.
I mean, the series has gotten them so many awards though. Last of Us got hell, like they walked away with 8 BAFTA awards for The Last of Us 2 just last month. I mean, I get it. I get it. Like they cranked out a masterpiece. So
for a game that people said they weren't going to buy because of all the controversy and all the spoilers that came out, the leaks.
You know what? All those people, all these people, and I've said this time and time again. All those people were full of shit. All of them were.
Jesse, Jesse, I will say this. We might talk about this on AX. What if the people who left the VASG came to Microsoft? And Microsoft allowed them to.
No, I was actually gonna mention that. Like, that would be hilarious if they went over there, made this massive banger game, and just was like, "You, Sony."
That's how it always happens. That's how it always happens. Look at the leftovers from Clover Studio. They became platinum games, and they gave the biggest middle finger to Capcom.
Yeah.
Titanfall. I mean, those are Call of Duty makers who wanted to do something different and better, and they were basically like, no, we don't need it, and then they came out with Titanfall, and then Call of Duty ended up kind of ripping off some of the ideas Titanfall had anyways. That stuff happens a lot,
Jesse, we'll have to think of games of like what could be made for AX. I'm excited now.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know, but yeah, like as far as everything goes though, like I think my main issue with the idea of them doing a reboot or a remake of the first one is like when I see The Last of Us, I think of it like kind of like the Dead Rising games, where it was like every game is based on different characters, and I think it's just better if they were to move forward just doing that, just have different characters that existed in that universe during the same time, but from a different part of the world or whatever, like I get it. It's like they probably think like, well, these characters, like everyone, loved them and stuff, so it's safer to stick with those same characters. But I don't know, because I mean that's what you would ultimately have to do, right? Otherwise, why do you call it a remake? Like, like if it's gonna just end up being different characters, then why, that's not really a remake in my opinion. It's just, I don't know. Like the way those games are set up is I just don't understand why they don't just move forward with it and let that original one be what it was. I mean, yeah, maybe you don't like get the characters perfect, or whatever, these new characters, like people don't like them as much, but that shouldn't matter. You still want to have different experiences. Like, I don't know, like, because even like with the it's different for the Resident Evil games, like like Resident Evil 2 was so old, at the point of when they came out with the remake. That there was that a long time in between for people to really want that to come back. But I don't know.
You want to know what the major cancer in this whole issue is? It's the fact that gamers, like, we kind of put the companies in this position. We were begging for these games to be re-released or come back out, and stuff like that. Like, these games get re-released in mastered collections and stuff like that. We eat it up. It becomes like the top selling title once over again. And now there's a stagnation between developing new and original products and just going back and going back and like rehashing their other stuff. Because let's be honest with you, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, it's out because is coming out because everybody was begging for a next gen experience for it. That a next gen experience that was not Andromeda. And you know what?
Right.
I will add fuel to this fire right now because EA needs to give me a Dead Space trilogy remaster.
Well,
Not even that. Begging for that. No one asked for a Last of Us remaster.
It's not even the fact that no one asked for it. It's the fact that they know that if they remaster it, someone's going to buy it.
Right. But
I swear, I will boycott this game. I
wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it.
PlayStation Doctor is going to stage a walkout on a Sony game.
Exactly. I'm gonna be one guy. I'm just gonna be one guy outside the studio and be like, "Don't buy."
Hell no, we won't buy.
Like I said, I just want my Mass Effect trilogy on Switch. That's all I want, EA. You don't even have to give me a.
You have a freaking Xbox, bro.
I know, but I
still coming to everyone. Where's Resistance? Where's Infamous? Where's Heavenly Sword?
Right.
Okay, all these PS3 are stuck.
Now, Austin, remake Resistance. That's the one that needs it. The Resistance one game. That's the one that really needs a remake.
You know what? If Sony wants to focus on Naughty Dog remakes.
Not the PS3 one.
If Sony wants to focus on Naughty Dog remakes, where's my damn Jack and Daxter trilogy? Give me that remake.
Exactly.
Hell, as competition is coming out, as competition is coming out with a new game on PS5, Ratchet and Clank is coming out. So
do Jackson Daxter too, because that game
bring Jet Moto back.
Let's stop giving these guys ideas. See, we just gave them a whole bunch of ideas and stuff that they can remake and remaster and bilk $70 out of our bank accounts for it. Let's stop this.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give them $70 for the
just not for the Last of Us, huh?
$70 for a Last of Us remake. No, right. And someone said something horrifying the other day that what if in the remaster they put Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey and put their faces in the Last of Us remake.
Because of the TV show that's coming out.
If that's the reason we're doing this, I'm gonna be even more upset. I'm gonna have.
I will revolt. I will revolt at that.
Two sides of my hand.
All right. Well, there you have it. If you guys have any questions, thoughts, or concerns about like the Deathloop delays until fall of 2021, or Sony's moves behind their priority to more AAA titles and stuff like that, hit us up at Ed. What's the website again? Oh, bossrushnetwork@gmail.com. We'd love to hear more from you, and definitely hit us up on our Boss Rush Network Discord. But guys, it's time for video game 20 questions. All right, so Ed, those guys really needed you last week. because it was like a last minute, like they got the answer for the game on the last question. So they ran through 19 questions before they could finally figure out what the game was. I will
say we had an idea of it. We just were really stumped on one part. We had it we kept saying the game over and over again. We just couldn't figure it out.
Because I'm retro code, then I go through all of those retro games from my mind, like picking it out to be like, which one could it be? That's a shame that you cannot call me a Nintendo lord. I mean, you can.
Yes, we can.
without knowing that I have a history with PlayStation and Xbox, I have played too many games over the years.
Well, good. Well, good. Let's see what you got. Okay, so video game 20 questions. The way it goes is for anyone that is just now seeing this segment. Basically, I have a game in my head right now. It's up to the panel to guess what that game is. They have 19 questions and one guess to figure it out. Now, if they decide to call out a game like early before their 20th question and it's the wrong one, they automatically lose. And somewhere around question 16, if you guys are starting to get really slayed by this, I will give you a clue. All right. So I'm thinking of I have a game in my head right now. Who wants to start first? Oh, and by the way, you might want to keep track of how many questions you ask, because I may or may not help you out if you lose track of how many questions you ask.
Okay.
Okay.
Was this game released after the 2000s?
Released after the 2000s?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so nothing from the 90s or 80s. Okay, so that's out the way. Is this game a first party game?
First party? Yeah. No.
Okay. So it is third party, released after the 2000s. That's 2.
Okay.
Was this game exclusive? Was this game was an exclusive, I should say.
Yes.
Okay, so it belonged to console. Well, I don't know if it's.
It could be a PC exclusive. There are games that only come out on PC.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Was this game on PC?
No.
Okay, so it could be console. It could be console. It could be handheld also, but even though it's not first party,
it could be
Please
mobile.
do not pick a mobile game.
No.
Please don't tell me this is a mobile game.
It's not a mobile game. It's not a mobile game.
Okay. So
should we ask if it's PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, or newer? Because that would at least eliminate half of the 2000s.
Give it to me in the form of a question. I'll tell you whether or not you can ask me that.
So was it on the PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U generation, or after?
No.
So like the newer one? No. So it's PS3, PS2, PS1 eras.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, not saying PlayStation.
Well, actually, wait. You did say the newer generation. So yeah. It's on a system older than the Xbox One.
Okay.
Okay.
Than the Xbox One's generation. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
You say it was during the Xbox One generation?
No, it's older. It's older than the Xbox One's generation.
Okay.
And it was an exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Third party.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a fighting game for its genre?
No.
Okay.
Wait,
was it
hold on. So I'm a little confused. So he said that it's not during the Xbox One generation.
So it was before. It was before that generation.
Yeah.
Before
so anything
okay,
like
so 360 or
360, PS3, or Wii.
Okay. Okay.
For that
could be OG Xbox and PS2, GameCube as well, because it's after 2000.
Might be on the damn Sega Saturn or the Dreamcast.
If this is Sega Saturn or Dreamcast, I'm out.
It could be on Dreamcast, but it can't be on Sega Saturn because Sega Saturn was on in the 90s, and we discontinued anything before the 90s.
Good call. Because I threw out Saturn by mistake, and I was trying to say Dreamcast.
Oh goodness!
Was it a PlayStation exclusive?
Yes.
So it was on PlayStation. So it's another PlayStation game.
Exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah. So it could have been PS1, it could have been PS2 or PS3.
Do we ask like which?
We could just knock it out right now.
Was this game on PlayStation 2?
No.
Okay, so it has to be PS1 or PS3. Don't forget, it's a third-party exclusive. That was released in the 2000s. So it
was it on a I don't think did anyone ask if it was on handheld?
No.
Was it on a handheld?
No, it was. Wait, no, it was not. Not this game that's in my head, and I had to think about the series. The series was not on handheld either.
Okay. I just
So-
we have those two that we would have had to worry about.
Yeah.
No Vita, no PSP.
So it's starting to get narrowed down on what system it is on.
All right.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
guessing.
So
PS3.
if it was on PS1, we have very few games that came after there. It's a smaller list.
Yeah.
I remember PS3.
I would say is it on PS3?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right, that was question number 10, by the way.
yes.
Right.
Okay. So it cannot be anything first party wise from Sony, and it can't be. This game cannot be released on PlayStation 4 if it's going to be an exclusive. So we got to exclude that. Because like we talked about The Last of Us, that guy has to be.
Oh, you know what?
Because that
Wait a
game
second.
got released to the PlayStation 4.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. I think I messed up on like the first party. Yes. Okay. So
okay.
I messed up on the first party. This is a first party title. I messed up.
First party.
It's a first party
Okay.
title.
That helps a little
So
bit.
now that I realize I messed that up, you guys get credit for that question. So add that to your arsenal.
Okay.
So it's not
it's
Demon
not-
Souls. It's not. I
But
think
let's get the genre first.
Okay.
Is the game a venture game?
Yes. But yes. Yeah. You know what? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
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 So it's a first party game that's a venture
Mhm.
released after the 2000s. So PlayStation 3 it is released on. It's a game that didn't show up on PlayStation 4. It had it because if it's exclusive, it has to stay on one console. So it has to stay on PlayStation 3.
Mhm.
Now let's be
and-
clear. So there's no way it could have been on PS4.
No, it has not been
No.
remastered.
Okay, so it can't be like Journey. It can't
No,
be
no.
Last of Us. Can't be
No.
okay. All right.
All right. So
Okay.
waiting for the 12th question.
what's the
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Austin.
Is your character a human or human-like form? Because I don't want another Breath of Fire situation.
Right. It was all a mess. Be like, wait a minute, he was human form before he turned into a dragon.
He said, LeRon.
The main character.
God. It was like,
The-
okay.
The main character is a human. I'm not gonna get you like I did the last time.
Okay.
Hey, but in my defense, the main character was a dragon. He just looked
He
like a
was a
human, but he was a
human.
dragon.
We're talking about okay, never mind.
I don't know. I'm gonna throw a challenge flag on that.
Exactly.
That was last week. That was last week.
Hey, you guys won.
Um,
You guys solved the puzzle.
PS3 Adventure Human. Is it part of a series?
Yeah.
All right.
So Uncharted.
Well, that was on PS4.
No, Uncharted 4 was on.
Well, yeah, the first
Well,
one was.
the
One to
Uncharted
three.
games are on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, but it can't. Well, it can't
So
be. It can't.
he said it was exclusive, so
Right.
that means it can't be Uncharted.
Right, because it can't be on that trilogy. Can't be on it because those games are on PS4. It has to be a
Mhm.
game strictly on PS3. So the Uncharted series has to be off of it.
Nice catch. Nice catch.
So we have Infamous.
Infamous. We have Infamous 2. We have God of War 3.
We have God of War 3.
Yeah, we can't do Resistance because that was first person shooter. That was an adventure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Resistance. Because Mercenaries, that was multi-console, right?
Wait a second. Wait a second. Why can't y'all do Uncharted?
Because
the
if it's on
trilogy was on
PS4,
PlayStation.
if
Right.
you can play it on PS4, that's not exclusive.
Exclusive.
Okay.
to the console. You know.
Okay.
It could be now. It could be like, would Tokyo Jungle be considered an adventure game?
Yes.
Yeah. Which I don't remember.
I'm gonna treat that as not a question, by the way.
Okay.
Well, yeah, unless we gotta just be specific when we're asking you a question or talking to one another.
Yeah, I'm just going to do the Rolodex.
The Rolodex.
Of places because all my PS3 games are like somewhere that I can't see them. So I'm just thinking of all the first party adventure style games. Now that doesn't include anything that's over the shoulder or anything. It's got to be an actual kind of adventure game.
And this is like my least knowledged, console, because in my world, the PS3 didn't even exist. So,
I feel bad for you.
Does this
no,
does
I was perfectly fine with
did this game have PSVR added to it?
No.
It couldn't have, because PS3
wouldn't
didn't have VR.
Yeah, PlayStation 3 have VR.
Or were you PS3 had VR?
Yeah, PlayStation 3 have VR.
I know PlayStation 3 had move. It had move.
3D modes.
Yeah, it had move and it had 3D.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it had 3D. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, I'm going through the parties. So Naughty Dog, it wouldn't be Naughty Dog games because they're all on either PS2 or PS4.
It could be Sucker Punch.
Could be Infamous.
Or Infamous
Or it could be that one Sly Cooper game. Thieves in Time. No. Whatever the fourth one was. It could be Beyond Two Souls.
That's a good.
Yeah, Beyond. Yeah, it could be Heavy Rain. Could be. It could be.
Well, I'm going to move you away from those because all those games came out on other systems.
Yeah, and Heavy,
right.
Yeah, Heavy Rain. That wasn't a Sony studio.
Quantum Dreams, but it was first party at that time.
But were they owned by Sony?
No,
they were no.
Okay.
But it was first party.
Third party.
It was first party because Sony published it. It doesn't matter if the Quantum Dreams, if they work with it or not. Sony published it, and you couldn't play it anywhere else when that game came out. It did. Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls didn't come out until to play anywhere until PC. So it's only for publishing reasons. It's only first party, and that's only Sony.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, it doesn't matter because it's part of a series, so that wouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, was that question asked? Was that question asked?
Yeah, I said it was.
Yep.
I said,
okay.
Is it a part of a series?
Okay. I lost track. I lost track of that question. I lost track.
So.
Well, you guys are on question 15 right now. So, in my opinion, you guys are doing pretty good.
It could be Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. It could be Little Big Planet's not adventure.
No, that's 2D platforming. Creative for it.
Let me look that up.
It's considered as a platform game, not an adventure game.
I love me some Little Big Planet.
Because everybody was trying to made Contra and Mario levels, didn't make it their own.
I love me some Little Big Planet.
I don't know the physics. The physics was what made that game hard for me.
It was the ragdoll physics. If you can play a Yoshi game, the Yarn game, then you can play a Little Big Planet.
Which is the different physics.
You gotta be human. Is there? Is this an open world? Is this an open world game?
No.
Okay.
So then that throws the Infamous series out the window.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh,
hold on.
Well,
Infamous is sandbox.
That's considered as open world.
I would consider it.
Wait, what'd you say, Austin?
I would consider it open world.
Infamous?
Yeah,
that's what they was calling it when it came out. They didn't call it like sandbox.
because it's like Just Cause is a sandbox, but it's still open world.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
you know what?
Okay, then. I mean, okay. I've always looked at a sandbox because it's not like you can just run. It's not like you can just run all over the place. Like eventually, you will exhaust all the enemies in the zone. Like most open world games, those enemies come back at a certain point.
So the game is an open world, or you're.
I feel like I got lured into a trap.
Well, I mean,
All right.
Like, do you have to change your answer to the question we already asked?
Well, okay, we won't ask that anymore. But
Well,
do
no,
you have
no,
electric
no,
powers
no,
in this game?
no.
Do you have electric powers? This will clear it all up.
Yeah.
Does the answer to the question need to be changed?
I'm sticking to sandbox.
Okay, so
this game have a character named Cole.
Austin, I hate you.
Alright, so now we gotta figure out if it's 1 or 2. Or unless he picked like a DLC, he picked Carnival of Souls or something. That'd be a sneaky pick.
Do you attack with a baseball bat?
I don't remember. I really don't remember. No, he didn't have a baseball bat. No.
Then I would.
No, he didn't have a baseball bat.
Is this the first game of a series?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Then.
Oh, by the way, this is about to be question 19.
Oh.
You burnt up 2 questions after you asked if the character's name is Cole. So you got one more question and then you have to take your guess.
All right.
You guys are, I feel like I spilled the beans somewhere, so you guys are in the right wheelhouse.
Is this the second game of a series?
It is not.
Okay,
so I mean, you guys know the answer now.
Is it Carnival of Souls?
Okay, now that's the incorrect name of the game.
What's it called?
So I should already end this game.
Like the vampire or something, the blood something.
All right, you guys
Full
basically
blood?
you guys basically got it.
Yeah.
You guys basically got it. It's Infamous Festival of Blood.
Okay.
Festival of Blood. God,
Festival of Blood.
Remember. Yeah.
An action-adventure standalone DLC video game title developed by Sucker Punch Productions for the PlayStation 3 video game console. Festival of Blood is an expansion of the Infamous series based on the Infamous 2 engine and map, but does not require a copy of Infamous 2 to play. So technically, you do not have to play either of the games or own either of the games to play this game.
And the reason I asked with the bat one, because Infamous 2, he uses a bat for his melee attack.
Actually, it wasn't the bat. It was like a giant tuning rod.
Oh, I thought it was like some kind of bat thing.
It was a giant tuning rod because that's also how he used it to conduct his electricity.
Sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I knew he smoked something.
That's why I was like, a bat.
That standalone game, I was like, oh. I bet he's trying to get sneaky with this one.
Well, let's just say my eyebrows hitched up when you were like, it better not be the DLC game. My eyebrows hitched up on that one. Good job, guys.
I also never got to play that because it was a download only. I never got to play it.
It was so good. It was so. I mean, it was really good. It was the best way. It was the best way to blow like 6 hours of your time. It was.
Yeah. I see, and I really like First Light with the neon. What is it called? First Light.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah,
Yeah.
First Light. That I love that DLC. I absolutely love that.
With the
With the
female
girl?
protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the neon powers. Neon powers
Yes.
is just dope. Just dope idea.
That's another franchise I feel like they need to keep going.
Yeah, I like Second Son. I personally liked it. I know a lot of people didn't like Delson, and a lot of people liked Cole better, but
yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
I've been working on that. I just need to hop back into it and finish the game. It's fun. I enjoy it.
The problem is Cole's storyline came to an end at the end of Infamous 2. Like, I mean, like, he died.
Right.
Depending on the ending that you got.
Yeah, but well, Sucker Punch has said, like, canonically, like, he died. Sucker Punch has said that.
Okay.
That's why they moved on to Delson, because Delson's storyline it talks about how, like, Cole made, like, the ultimate sacrifice so conduits can exist in peace without being, like, basically, you know, like vilified. You know, even though technically, as soon as Delson got his powers and stuff, of course everybody freaked the fuck out, you know.
Yeah.
Well, good job, guys. Good job, guys. It's good to see that I'm keeping the tradition alive, because Corey did get us on one that we could not guess. He did get us on one game. So it's good to know that I'm throwing some ones that are stumping you guys out there. So I don't know, like, I have to come out with some high heat next week.
I got some actual breaking news now.
Oh, what you got?
Netflix has acquired the rights of Sony's biggest 2022 films and beyond. The streaming giant will be home to upcoming films like Uncharted, Spider-Man, and more.
You
Wait,
did
Netflix?
announce that yesterday.
Yeah, Netflix.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it yesterday? Okay, I'm just now seeing it.
So in other words, what is it? Crackle won't be anymore.
No, just their movies and stuff.
I actually watched Superbad on Crackle. It was free.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'll watch Superbad on Crackle.
Yeah,
Why
well, that's
not?
the thing is, I mean, Crackle is free. You
Yeah.
know, I watch stuff on it. They have original shows on it.
I just hate the quality on Crackle.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't watch.
And of course the commercials, of course.
Yeah, of course the commercials are.
Yeah,
they're not as bad as Hulu. I still go through Hulu commercials, so.
Yeah.
See, I got Hulu Premium, so I don't get the commercials.
Yeah, Microsoft must have been listening when I talked about that on the show the one day, because now my Edge browser no longer blocks the commercials from happening, because I said that, like, because when I was watching Hulu, like, it would, you know, take a couple of seconds and it would tell me that I need to turn the ad blocker off so I could, you know, watch the commercials, and if I would just wait like less than a minute, it would just then skip the commercial and then just continue the show right away again. So
wow.
All right, well, everybody, that's our show for the week. We'd like to go ahead and give a big thanks to you for tuning in and listening to the Boss Rush podcast. Before we head out, though, here's how you can get connected and stay connected to our panelists. Ed, plug yourself.
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatBretcherCode. You can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps. Also, we're World 11 Podcast on Podbean. Check out Nintendo Pop Block on Monday, 7:30 to 8:30. This past week, we ranked the Legend of Zelda series. Definitely check out that episode and listen to that conversation. We had such a fun time laughing. I have now have the gaming gasp that you guys could like look at and definitely enjoy with that. Also check out our writing on Boss Rush Network. BossRushGames.com. We got a lot of stories up there that you guys can check out. My latest one has dropped called Who's Cooking, and you guys should give that one a read. It's really fun and really light.
Is it Mama?
It's a really interesting read that you guys will have. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, congratulations also to Corey on his baby. Miles Daniels, Derek. They had their baby this week. So congratulations to him and his family.
Actually, it was longer than this week. It was the week before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was this Wednesday.
Yeah, that little rascal's about to be 2 weeks old.
Oh.
And also again, happy birthday, Ed.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Austin, plug yourself.
Yeah, you can find me at PlayStaustin on Twitter, and you can catch all my other usernames on there, Switch codes, PlayStation usernames, Xbox usernames, all that stuff. And of course, you can catch me with LeRon on Tuesdays for Crossroads.
Yep. Jesse?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS, and also check out last week's 1v1. Me and Ed got to sit down with the guys on Stephen Kyle and had a blast. That was hilarious.
Oh, everybody watched that. Dude, Jesse, I was just watching it yesterday and was cracking up. They are so cool, so down to earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Their show is great too. Like,
All right, and of course you can find me on social media at Exodus803, EXODUS803. You're tuning into Boss Rush Podcast on my channel today, twitch.tv/Exodus803. But remember to check the show out on its home channel, twitch.tv/Boss Rush Games Live. And as a reminder, Crossroads, the PlayStation Podcast, with me, Austin, and our other partner in crime, Nelly, is Tuesday nights on my Twitch channel, 8 p.m. And then follow that up on Wednesday nights at 8:30 for Hunters for Hire, the Monster Hunter podcast with myself and Galatrad.
One last thing. And you guys can check out Arsenal X on Tuesdays, where me and Jesse loves to throw out the X. Yes. Because we have exciting conversations there, so you guys can check the recordings of Arsenal X there.
Hey Austin, Hey Austin, what level of nerd is that? I feel like that's
level. It's peak level, but you know what? On Arsenal X, we embrace.
Right. Don't forget, LeRon, that you took stationaries away from me.
So. Hey, you called us that, so I mean, you called us that, and I mean,
hey, look, I'm a stationary too, so I can't.
No, you're not. You're a power blocker. No, you're not.
Yes, I am a stationary.
No, you're not. No, you're not. The way you ride like Brunhilde to Nintendo's defense, you know.
Okay, so yes, I am a elite block agent, and I am a stationary, and also an extra arsenal.
Elite block agent. I love that one. I love that one.
That's why I've been using on the Power Block Twitter. It's calling everybody the elite block agent.
Yeah. All right. Real quickly, head over to bossrushgames.com and check out our vast array of shows. We've got Arsenal X, Crossroads, Standard Definition with Corey, as well as some of our other. We've got Land Party. Wait, Land Party is still a part of Boss Rush Network, right?
Entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's on the entertainment side. It's on the entertainment side. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, please head over to the website. Check out all of our articles and stuff. Like our writing team is putting in work. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
There's always the daily Boss Rush banter segment, which we welcome you to come check that out and continue the conversation with us. Don't forget, head over to our Discord to join us there and become a part of the community. And that's pretty much the show. Thanks a lot. Special shout out to the one called My Lord. Thank you for tuning into the show today, and thank you for helping out with some of the technical difficulties, because we had some. You guys may or may not have even realized we had some. But beyond that, that's our time today. The Boss Rush Games family wants you all to have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and go out there, play games, and be better. Take care of yourselves, and we will be back next week. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.